So good morning, my dear children.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you?
Thank you, ma'am. Fine, thank you, ma'am.
Fine, thank you. So shall we start today's session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, before I start, let me ask a few questions. Who is going to give me the name of the poem that I started in the last class? Yes, Amna, what is the name of the poem?
Ma'am, Invictus.
Yes, the name of the poem is Invictus. And what is the meaning of this term Invictus? What does it mean? What does it mean? Yes, Ivan, what does it mean, Ivan?
I'm unconquerable or undefeated.
Unconquerable or undefeated. Very good. So it is the Latin word which means unconquerable or undefeated. Adi Lakshmi, who is the poet of this beautiful poem?
William Ernest Henley.
Okay, the poet of this poem is William Ernest Henley. And when was this poem written? When was Invictus written? In which year? In which year was this poem
1875.
written?
1875.
Yes, Shahad, when was this poem written, Shahad?
1970.
No, my dear, it was written in 1875. Am I right? Was it
Yes,
written in
ma'am.
1875? It
Yes,
was written
ma'am.
in 1875. Now, what is the central idea of this poem? What is the central idea? Yes, Ishal, what is the central idea of this poem, my dear?
Ma'am, to find the strength and fight against the difficulties.
Yes, to find the strength. Why? In order to fight against all the difficulties and troubles of life. Okay, always you should remember this point. What is the central idea or the central theme of this poem? To find strength to fight against all the troubles and all the difficulties of life. Now, okay, that is all about the introduction which I gave you. Now, just open your textbook, take the poem Invictus. And which are the two important lines of this poem? I am the master of my fate and captain of my soul. I'm the master of my fate and captain of my soul. These are the two important lines that you should always remember. Whatever decision you make, whatever choices you make, you should take up the responsibility. And whatever troubles you face just because of the choice you have made, what should you do? You have to find the strength and fight against all the odds, all the difficulties of life and be successful. That is what is the meaning of these two lines. I am the master of my fate and the captain of my soul. So please take the page number 70. We are going to continue with the poem. So first paragraph was already taught to you. Sorry, first stanza was already taught to you. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. So what did I say? What happened to the poet here? As I told you, the poet's condition was very pathetic. In his early 20s, he had a very rare disease, that is the tuberculosis of the bones. And what had happened? His one leg had to be amputated. His one of the legs was cut off. So he suffered with the pain for almost 20 months. Then only Invictus was written in the year 1875. So he says, I am fully covered with the darkness. Wherever I see, I feel there is no hope. There is total darkness. Pit. I had showed you the image of the pit in the last class. Do you remember that? Yes. Look here. When we, pit means what? A coal mine. When we go deep into the pit, can we see anything? No. Totally dark. So he says, out of the night that covers me, black as a pit from pole to pole. So wherever I see, all around me, I feel as if I am fully covered with darkness. But in this situation also, he is thanking God. Why is he thanking God? For an unconquerable soul, unbeatable soul, right? Now, what is the meaning of unconquerable? Unconquerable means a mind or spirit that cannot be
beaten.
Okay, that was the first stanza that we learned. Now, shall we move on to the second one? Please take
Yes,
the page
ma'am.
number 70. Look at the 71. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody and unbowed. So what is he telling here? In the fell clutch means what? In the deadly grip. In the deadly grip of circumstance. What is the meaning of circumstance here? Circumstance means an event or fact that causes something to happen. A situation. Okay, a situation. So he says, in the fell clutch of circumstance, in the deadly grip. How is his situation? He is in such a difficult situation. Okay, his one leg is cut off. He is on the bed. He is struggling with the pain. So he says, I am in the deadly grip of the situation. I cannot come out. I feel that I cannot come out of this. But what did he do? He fought. He faced the situation. How? With lot of courage and with lot of strength. And he says, though I am in the deadly grip, in the worst condition, but I have not winced or not cried aloud. What is the meaning of winced there? Winced what?
Shrinking movement of the body out
Shrinking
of the
movement of the body out of pain or distress. Now, once we are not well, once we are sick, once I have got high fever, all we make a noise, right? I mean, some kind of, have you seen small children doing that? Once they are not able to tolerate the pain, they react. So he says, the situation in which I am is the worst one, is very pathetic. Can we imagine? Can I imagine that my one leg is amputated? I'm lying down on the bed and writing a poem. Can I imagine myself in that situation there? Can you imagine yourself? No, we cannot imagine.
No, ma'am.
We cannot imagine. So here the poet is lying down on the bed and writing this poem, and he is telling he is the deadly grip of the situation. He is in the deadly grip of the circumstance, but he never cried. He never cried. Now, once you fall, once you just imagine you fell somewhere, and if you are not able to tolerate the pain, Anupama, what will you do?
Ma'am, I will call parents and cry.
No, the first thing, what do you do? Now, if your small child is cycling in front of your eyes, the small child, the child who was cycling just suddenly fell down. What is the first thing the child does? If the child is able to get up, he will or she will get up by herself or himself. If not, what is the first thing the child does there? The child starts crying.
Cry loudly.
Crying loudly. Now, once I am not able to tolerate my pain, once I am not able to tolerate the situation, what do? I react. How? Maybe sometimes I cry. Don't you cry? Don't you ever, have you not cried?
Ma'am, I cry according to the size of the injury.
Okay. So now, why do we cry? Do you remember recently, when did you cry? Why did you cry? Yes, Ashwin, why do we cry? Now, I also cry sometimes when I'm not able to handle the situation in a proper way, when I feel there is no other go. Sometimes, happens. Eyes are filled with tears here. But what is the poet telling us? The poet is telling us, though I am in the worst situation, in the deadly grip of the situation, in the deadly grip of the circumstance, I have not winced or not cried aloud. I have not shown any movement in the body, or I have never cried aloud. Now, if you were there in the place of the poet, what would you do? Would you do the same thing what he is doing there? I didn't get the answer. Yes, Jalin Shaiju, would you do the same thing?
No, ma'am.
No. But this poem is an example for us. In whatever situation we may be in the future, what should we do? We have to face the situation with courage, with the strength, with whatever strength I have, with all the strength, with all the courage, I can face the situation. Under the bludgeonings of chance. What is the meaning of bludgeonings? Who is going to read out the meaning of the word bludgeoning? How do you pronounce that word? Bludgeonings. Helen Tito, come and read out the meaning of the word bludgeonings.
Beating down with a stick or an heavy object.
Now you imagine that someone is beating you. Beatings done with a heavy stick or any heavy object. If you are beaten up with a heavy stick or a heavy object, what will you do? How will you react to the situation? Your silence is telling me that you are not going to react. You are just going to take the beatings. Is it so? Yes, Ivan?
Ma'am, we'll be sad at the same time. We'll be also angry. Like we need to get revenge. Like that.
Okay, Jalin. Shaiju? Jalin, Shaiju?
Yes, ma'am. First, I will cry and shout.
Okay. So here, what is the poet trying to tell us? No one is beating the poet with a thick stick or a heavy object here. What does it mean? It means that the situations, the troubles are making him to suffer in his life. That is the meaning of this line here. Okay. No one is taking a stick and waiting to beat him. Nothing like that. So what is the meaning of this line? Though the situation and the troubles are making him to suffer, making him to bleed. Once someone takes a big thick stick and goes on beating someone, what happens to the body? Body starts reacting. How? Blood starts oozing out from the body. It starts bleeding. Am I right? Yes. So here he is telling the troubles, the situation is making me to suffer, is making me to bleed. But my head is bloody, but unbored. Maybe I am covered with blood. My whole body is covered with blood. But how is his situation? He is unbored. Unbored means what? He is not ready to get defeated in front of the situation or troubles. So in short, what is the meaning here? In short, what is the meaning? He doesn't want to give up. Whatever situation comes, he is ready to face. Clear? Though the situation is so worst, though he is undergoing a lot of problems, physical problems, mentally he is not all right, but he is not ready to give up. Though the situations are making him to bleed, making him to suffer, making him to cry, but he is not ready to cry. He doesn't want to cry. He doesn't want to give up. He doesn't want to lose the hope. He just wants to fight back. He just wants to win over the situation. Okay, so what is the meaning of unbored there? Unbored means he is not afraid. He is unafraid. Now, how many of you go to sleep after watching a horror movie without a pinch of fear? How many of you go to sleep? Yes, there are so many. Last day I was watching.
Ma'am,
So I was asking this question, how do you feel after watching a horror movie? How do you feel? What is your feeling? Are you not scared? Are you not scared? I didn't get any answer. Are you scared? Yes. Yes, Romel. How do you feel after watching a horror movie?
ma'am, when I watch it, I will be like, when is the ghost coming? Because there will be a jump scare.
Yeah, we feel, right? We try to imagine, but actually it's not there. It's not there. Okay, now just I thought of giving this example. Now come back to the poem. What is the poet trying to tell us here? He's trying to tell us whatever the situation is, I'm not ready to give up. I just want to fight back. So there is a great lesson that we have to learn. What is that? Whatever the situation may be, we have to fight back. Never lose hope. That is very important, right? We should never lose hope. Every problem has got a solution. Every problem has got a solution. So always face the situation with a positive attitude. When you have a positive attitude towards the problem, what happens to the problem? Half of the problem is solved. Very good. So did you understand the second stanza? What did I tell in the second stanza? Though he is in the deadly grip of the circumstance of the situation, troubles, but he is not ready to give up. So he is in a situation where the situation making him to bleed, making him to suffer, but he just wants to win over the situation, fight back and win over the situation and be happy. That is what. Now look at the third one. Look at the third stanza. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. Now, what is the meaning of wrath here? Wrath means great
ma'am.
anger, right? What is the meaning of wrath here? Great.
Anger.
And what is the meaning of shade?
Here death.
Fear.
Okay. Now he says, beyond all the anger, all the tears, looms. What is the meaning of the word looms? Looms means
From the drop.
appear or dominate. Now all these meanings are given in your textbook. You need not write. Just write the meaning of loom and take. See, wrath meaning is given, that is great anger. Shade, that means death here. Menace. Menace means what? Danger. Or the risk. Okay. These all words you need not write. Just write the meaning of looms. Looms means what? Appear or dominate. Did you write? Did you write?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So in the third stanza, what is the poet trying to tell us? Beyond all the anger, beyond all the tears, there is another situation in his life. What is that? He is surrounded by the fear of death. Okay. Hope so you understood the seriousness of his condition.
Yes, ma'am.
The bed, one of his leg is amputated, and doctors also told him that his other leg also should be amputated, but he did not allow the doctors to do that. So one of his legs just below the knee was cut off. So in that situation, he writes this poem. So he says, beyond all the tears, beyond all the anger, here appears the horror of the death. And he says, this, the horror of the situation, the troubles are somehow revolving around me. I am totally surrounded by the problems. That is what he is talking about his situation. But he says, yet the menace of the years. Look here, in the third stanza, the poet says that horror has always lurked behind him. Lurked means what? Somewhere hiding. Somewhere the problems are always near him. But it always finds him unafraid. Whenever menace or trouble has come in his life, he has faced it bravely. So whenever we come across any menace or trouble, how should we face the situation?
Bravely.
Don't quit. Don't quit. Okay. Just be very brave. So face the situation bravely. So what is he telling? Beyond the anger, beyond the tears, here I am troubled by the fear of death. Yet I am surrounded by the problems, though the problems are revolving behind me, revolving around me, or hiding somewhere near me, but the situations were not able to defeat him. That is the meaning of this. So in short, what do we learn? Whatever the situation is, we have to remain unafraid. So he is telling, look at this stanza. Look at the last line. Finds and shall find me unafraid. So whatever trouble, whatever problem, whatever difficulties he is having, those difficulties have already always found him, and in future shall find him unafraid. So he is challenging the situation. Whatever it is, I am ready to face you. Okay. So did you understand what did I say in the third stanza? Third stanza. Third stanza. Beyond the anger, beyond the tears, he is surrounded by the fear of death. Though he is surrounded by all these kinds of fears, he is not at all scared. He is unafraid. Okay. So shall we move on to the last stanza?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate and the captain of my soul. Now again, what is the meaning of straight? Straight means it is a Narrow passage, right? So you're
Passage.
writing,
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
given in your textbook. What is the meaning of straight? It is
Narrow.
narrow. And what is the meaning of that line? How charged with punishments the scroll? Whatever happens to him in life, he is not bothered. He's least bothered. Why? 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 Whatever happens to him in life, he is least bothered. Why? My question is why? Come
I am
on.
the master of my, because he's the master of his fate and the
soul, captain of his soul.
Yes. Why is he telling so? Whatever happens, though the passage of my life is very narrow. Now look at this stanza. Somebody's audio has to be muted. Okay, please mute the device. See ya. Although the gate of my life is narrow, he will definitely pass it with vigor, with mental and physical strength. Moreover, he declares that he is the master of his fate, meaning his fortune. Also, he claims that he is a captain of his soul. So he says, whatever the situation I am undergoing, I am definitely going to win over the situation with physical and mental strengths. Though the passage of my life, though the gate of my life is narrow. Why? Because he's suffering from a disease, right? Where he is battling for his life. So he says, though there are chances 50-50, though the passage, though the gate of my life is narrow, but I am definitely going to win over the situation. That is what he is trying to tell us. Why? Because he is the master of his fate and captain of his soul. So as I told you, now as you finish your 10th standard, you have to make a choice. When you reach 10th standard, till 10th standard is, easy going. Am I not right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, no tension. Teachers are taking class, you attend the classes, you prepare for the lessons. All those things, you study well and you attend the exams, you get good marks, okay, etc. Okay, that is over. But once you finish 10th standard, what happens? There comes a question, what next? There you have to make a choice. Then as I told you, after +2 also you have to make a choice. Now, once you make a choice, what should you do? What should you do once you make a choice? You should be ready to face all the challenges that you are going to encounter on your way. Why? Always remember, because I am the master of my fate and captain of my soul. So it was my choice. Now, when I talk about me, it was my choice to become a teacher. So I became a teacher. Now, whatever challenges, whatever problems, whatever difficulties I come across, I have to take responsibility. Can I tell my parents told me to become a teacher, so I became? Can I speak like that? No.
No, ma'am.
So never put the blame on someone else. Always take the responsibility. So in short, what have we learned in this poem? What is that thing that we learn? What is the moral that we get from that? Yes, one by one. I think so, one by one. Yes, Helen Tito, tell me, what is that?
Ma'am, we always Invictus.
We always?
Invictus, undefeated.
Always we should be, unconquerable, undefeated, unafraid of whatever happens in life. Okay, then. So whenever you feel, you are in great trouble or something, take the English literature book, just go through the poem in Invictus. You are self-motivated. You will get self-inspired to face all the situations in life.
Ma'am.
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, no.
Ma'am, we should face every
Ma'am, can Anupama?
One minute, Bilsa. 1 minute, Anupama. Let her try. Yes, Bilsa.
Ma'am, we should face every problem and come across of that problem.
Yes. Always there is no shortcut for success. So we have to face. Yes, Anupama.
Ma'am, not ready to give up and trust in yourself.
Yes, not ready to give up. Always fight back. Yes, then. Have you seen the people who are struggling with this, with their health matters? Have you seen those kind of people?
Yes, ma'am.
There are deadly diseases. There are people who are fighting for their life against these deadly diseases, right? There are people who have fought against the deadly diseases and who they have come back to life. Have you heard of some people like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now there are people who are fighting against this deadly disease called cancer. There we find many people who have come back to life. Why? Because they fought against, they won over the situation. So always the spirit should be very high. Okay, the spirit should be very strong. Whatever happens, ready to face. That should be the attitude. If that is the attitude, nothing is going to shake you. But you should make sure that the choice which you make is
Right.
okay. The choice which you make, if you feel it is right, then no need to bother. Okay, so do you have any doubts regarding this poem?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am, there is no doubt.
Okay, now do you feel self-motivated, a kind of inspiration to face the life and to
Yes,
do
ma'am.
something?
Yes, ma'am.
Like you don't
Yes,
get
ma'am.
life again and again, right? So just give your 100%. If you are attending a class, just be 100% present for the class and study well, complete your notes. That is what you are supposed to do at this age. Now, nobody is going to tell me sit at home and write the notes because I am not of your age. I am teaching here. So I have got different kind of responsibilities. So what is your immediate responsibility as a child of 6th standard now? You have to study well.
Right.
So what are you going to do since we have finished the whole poem? You have to read the poem and try to understand the poem. So in the next class, what are we going to do? We are going to have the seminar as well as a reading session. Then we are going to have the written test also. I'll send a message. For the written test, you have to learn the lesson to the memory of a lion. Okay. Okay, my dear children. So take care. Read the poem and revise the poem. Okay. So bye bye. Thank you. Have a good time. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am.